Stress is a silent killer. Around 70% of Australians surveyed say that stress impacts negatively on their lives, and it seems that finances, family and health are at the top of everyone's stress list. Tim, what impact does stress have on our lives?
Well, look, if we don't manage it well, it can have a really negative impact. It can affect our health, particularly over the long term, but it can also affect our productivity. I mean, we just don't function as well when we're not managing stress.
What are some ways to manage stress?
Well, look, the unfortunate reality is many people manage it unhelpfully, not very well, and they do things like drink too much, eat too much, avoid dealing with what the real problem is. A lot of the things that actually just make the problem worse.
So that's what not to do. What are some of the things we should be doing?
Well, look, I think we can break down the effective coping strategies into at least three broad categories. There are physical strategies, psychological strategies, and then behavioural strategies. Physically, what we want to try and do is reduce the extent to which we're worried and tense. So there's a breathing control where we slow our breathing down, focus on our breathing, and that's very, very simple but very effective way to manage some of the emotional and physical aspects of anxiety and stress.
I take a deep breath. I meditate.
I like to go for a nice long swim. I'll either do laps or I'll just go float in the pool and try and clear my mind.
Cook a nice meal, spend time outside, go for a surf, listen to music. It really makes me feel a lot better, more connected to what's going on around me.
There are also psychological strategies where we rethink the problem. Shakespeare said there's nothing either good or bad except thinking makes it so. And positively reframing situations can turn what was negative stressor into something that can motivate us to take constructive action.
Being mindful of my thoughts. So if my thoughts are out of control, I'll choose a better thought that will help me manage the situation.
It really allows me to focus on the things that are positive in my life and things that I actually do have control over.
Which leads into the third one, behavioural strategies, taking constructive action, doing something that will change the problem, minimise the problem. One of the things we encourage people to do is to not get bogged down too much in the problems, but rather to try and focus on the solutions, to ask yourself things like, what can I do about this? What would it be like if I were to overcome this situation?
There's a big job interview was one that comes to mind in particular, where I found that before I was going in, if I counted back from 10, it really did wonders. It just put me in a different place before I walked in.
I do find talking to family and friends about it and being a lot more open and not suppressing the issues has helped me enormously.
George, a really important message is that there's no right or wrongs. We're all different and the strategies that will work for us will be different for different people. But a good starting point for all of us is to make sure you eat well and get good sleep. Sleep is essential for coping with stress generally.